Oh, Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
So could you start by giving us your name?
Amy Ingrid Francesca Ellis.
Curtis.
Blair?
Mick.
Charles Sandu Jr.
My name is Doreen Lee.
And how long have you been dead?
Gosh, 70 years? That sounds right.
Oh, fuck me. Probably about 40 years ago now.
5 years and 23 days, not that anyone's counting.
Why, it must be about 50 years now.
A year, I think.
About 2 weeks now.
What kind of life did you actually have when you were alive?
A brilliant one. I've always had a lot of friends. I've always been quite a sort of sociable person, really, and I've never really had best friends or anything like that, but that was always okay with me. And it sort of felt like everyone was my best friend. My family were lovely, they really were. Lots of long drives and arts and crafts and Bob Dylan songs, and my brothers were annoying, but in a cute way. And I'd have to say my one regret would be that I never got a girlfriend.
It's fine, I guess. I don't know, normal. Is anyone's life normal? Evidently, I didn't live it to the fullest. Unfinished business, most people call it. That sort of feeling where you're... Sorry, I'm rambling. Oh well, Daddy was a prick, Mummy was a bore, anarchy in the UK, no future. Never mind the bollocks and all that bollocks. It was all a bit of a laugh, really, wasn't it? But that was a while ago now. Sort of hard to remember, really. Bit of a blur.
Oh, my life was wonderful. I simply couldn't complain. I can remember it like it was yesterday. Summer breeze on the ways to the pictures, feeding the ducks at the park, every single birthday. I simply couldn't complain. I was a very lucky girl in that respect. Some of us weren't as fortunate.
Suburban adolescence. So in other words, hell on earth.
You knew Curtis, right?
Yeah, we actually didn't knew each other when we were both alive. He was, I think, the only real friend I had, actually. This is really fucking selfish, actually, but I was actually quite glad when he didn't, properly die. It's nice to have a bit of company. I was at his funeral, and funnily enough, so was he. That was nice.
Morning. I had quite a busy life, now I look back on it. Of course, it was all different back in my day, although, mind you, people have been saying that since I was alive. I was born right after the war. Good time to be born, although I didn't know that as a child. Pleasant enough childhood in West London. Moved up to Manchester when I was 7. Never lost the accent. First of my family to go to university. Mathematics. I was just starting to move up in the world. I thought, well.
So we've spoken a little bit about your life, but how did that actually end? How did you actually die?
Next question.
Hit by a car because of these bad boys. Great sound. Noise cancelling is a mixed blessing. At least I got to keep them though. overdose.
Lung cancer.
Well, one day it was summer. No, early autumn. Me and my girlfriends wanted to just soak up the last of the warmth, I suppose. It's so fleeting here in Britain, as I'm sure you know, yes. The woods by my house, someone had created a tire swing. Gosh, it was something. The gaiety of it all, I just got a bit carried away, you see. And I kept on screaming, higher, higher. My friend Marjorie, well, she pushed me a bit too high. I flew off like some kind of rag doll. Hit my head rather hard. You must understand though, I don't blame her. I have no one to blame but myself.
Well, I drowned actually, in case you couldn't tell. They didn't find my body for 5 days, which sucked. Do you mind if we talk about something a bit happier?
Of course. I'm sorry. I know it can.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So now you're dead. How do you pass the time?
Good question. I sort of wonder. We don't get tired, so that's like 8 hours of the day where most people take to reset. We don't get that, which kind of sucks, but I like to listen to music. Record stores are great for that. But like, when I died, I was listening to this Hall & Oates Best Of compilation on a Walkman, like a dickhead. So I always have that as a sort of like fail-safe, I guess, but could have been worse. Could have been stuck with like Coldplay.
Well, I sit with Curtis at the record store a lot. When I'm not with him, when I'm alone, I like to go to the library. I like the quiet. I like reading over people's shoulders a lot, although I get really pissed off when they don't let me finish a page though.
I love to people watch. Supermarkets are a great place. Just shopping centres in general. You've got Boots on Monday, EE on Wednesday, Greggs on Friday, and Summers on Saturday. It's brilliant. It's like watching a film that's always different, but makes you cry every time. Speaking of, actually, I also quite like to go to the cinema and just stand at the front, just sort of staring at everyone. That's always really fun.
See, it's a bit poncy, but I hang around with a bunch of Buddhist blokes from time to time. They notice me actually, only sometimes, sort of fleeting looks and all that. I meditate a lot, trying to remember all the things I'm starting to forget. Fuck me, I'm getting older now.
I like a good walk. Most of us do. Always interesting to see what's changed and what hasn't. Gets me a little misty-eyed, I must admit. That's all really. Some of us deceased do like to socialize, get together in abandoned buildings and such. I find it all frightfully dull. I suppose I'm just waiting for my time to pass on at my age. Perhaps I've missed my window of opportunity, so to speak.
Well, I follow the arts rather closely. I never really was into theatres and galleries and such as a child, but maybe around 50 years ago, I saw that George Seurat painting, Bathers at Asnières, and it really stirred something in me. Since I visit the theatre weekly at the very least, and go to every exhibition I can. I suppose the major benefit of being invisible to most is that you don't have to pay for a ticket.
Do you ever miss being alive?
Nah, not particularly. Don't think you could call it much of a life anyway. It was all booze and drugs and shagging. It was vacuous. Desire was one of the three evils and all that. Phew, God, if I'd known I'd be into all this hippie shit back then, I don't even know.
Sure. Right now I do. My funeral last week was hard, but Blair was there. Hadn't seen her in a while, so that was nice, I guess. I've heard that after a while you sort of stop missing being alive. But I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, I definitely do. When I do my people watching, it is very difficult sometimes because yeah, sure, you can go anywhere you want. Yeah, but great, but you can't actually do anything. Yeah, you're just sort of stuck there. Yeah, while everyone else just gets to live on. Yeah, and it is. Do you mind if I just?
Yeah, no, of course, take all the time you need.
I miss a full English breakfast.
A little, but my friends, my life, most of my favourite dance halls and picture houses, they're gone now. And of course that does make me a little sad. I don't miss being alive, you understand, but I do miss my life. I miss my life very much indeed. Silly, really, to miss something that faded so long ago. Oh well.
I don't think you can miss something you didn't properly enjoy in the first place.
And just starting to wrap up, do you have any advice for any new ghosts out there?
You're not as alone as you think you might be.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened.
Get ready to slow the fuck down, man, because your dancing days are over.
The worst is behind you, you can relax.
Don't waste your time, for you may find yourself looking around one day and be completely stuck.
Well, I understand better than any that you may be here for some time, so find a hobby.
And do you have any advice for the living?
Breathe slower, for our sake. And be kind. And if you're going through hell, just keep going.
I don't think so. I feel like you've got it all figured out better than we do.
Don't smoke.
Smoke them if you got 'em.
I see so many of you living forget to actually live, and that is a real shame. So, my advice, cherish it. Every last second.
Next time you see a seat on the bus, leave it free. There might be a ghost who wants to sit down.